LA, and the Astros went to town and they took care of business. Lance McCullers outdueled Walker Buehler, and it was a beautiful sight. There's beer being thrown everywhere, balls being thrown on a baseball field, trash cans being thrown, but the Astros just did what they did and they won some baseball games. And we'll talk about that on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast.
It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Heisman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chansey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Heisman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talk Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always owning the Dodgers, always Stros.
Well, I don't know about always owning him, but they sure took care of business today. This was the game that I think that everybody kind of assumed would be the tough one, but it seemed like the Astros just had this in the bag pretty much the whole time. Lance McCullers just was under control. Even after he got hit by the comebacker, it looked like he was in a lot of pain, and it just kind of looked like he wasn't really looking at Dusty Baker, and he was just kind of like, yeah, I'm fine. But he stayed in the game, and unfortunately, he couldn't get that final out in the seventh inning. But he pitched 6 2/3 innings, only allowed 4 hits, 9 strikeouts. He dominated this game, and it wasn't even close. The Dodgers didn't really have much going on versus McCullers, and he did what he was supposed to do. And we'll have to definitely talk about this. Maybe we could do a Spotify Green Room tomorrow during the game. And Spotify Green Room is changing the way we talk sports. And today's episode is brought to you by Spotify Green Room. Download the app and join us this week. Maybe we'll do a show tomorrow, and you can join the action and just talk about baseball and just join the discussion. So, and guys, thank you for all the people for subscribing on YouTube. We're getting close to the 1200 mark, and I'm really excited about this. And thank you for everybody for listening to the Ben Verlander podcast, and continue listening on Apple, Odyssey, wherever you listen to your podcasts. We beat the Dodgers. We went to town and we took care of business. And I can tell you that the Dodgers fans do not like the Astros, and it shows. I just watched a video where there was a whole section throwing beer at this one Astros fan.
Yeah, and
they're hitting Dodgers fans. There's kids there. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't know how much credence or how much time I want to lend to the show on this, but it's definitely needs to be addressed. The absolute vehement, unadulterated, ridiculous loyalty that the Dodgers have, and to think that the players are actually okay with this and condone this is complete bullcrap. And it's rather embarrassing. After seeing some of the videos I saw, I'll be real honest. If I was a Dodgers fan, I would want to switch teams. And Johnny, I do agree. This is on Rob Manfred. This is on the media who has scapegoated and singled out the Houston Astros. And no, I'm not playing the victim role. I'm telling you what it's become. And there's a mob mentality in the society that is sickening, that we can't go to a freaking baseball game, the most attended baseball game in 2 years. 52,000 people showed up, and they got crap like this going on. Baseballs being thrown onto the field during batting practice, trash cans being thrown onto the field, beers being hurled over children, over babies. I mean, this is ridiculous. That one Astros fan turned around and flipped him off and said, F you. But you know what?
No, what else was throwing him back? He was throwing him back, and he got escorted off, and all the Dodgers fans were flicking him off.
But I mean, what else was he going to do? It was like 1,000 versus 1. Bottom line is this, and the last I'm going to say about it is They're a bunch of crybabies. I don't hear them talk a single word about their 2020 World Championship. All I hear about is how we cheated them out of the 2017 title. It's the same petulant child. I don't have what you have jealousy. Get over it. The Astros do own the Dodgers. The Astros play better than the Dodgers in LA. And if the Astros play the Dodgers in the World Series, there's no way the Dodgers beat the Houston Astros, period.
All right. Bill Pilarski, I'm not sure how to say his name, but this is what he had to say before the game. It's already gotten dangerous at Dodger Stadium. Fans are throwing home run balls on the field and Astros in batting practice. Come on, people. Boo and heckle, but don't hurt anybody. Be better. This is the guy that wrote all the stuff about the Astros and pushed this rhetoric.
Yep.
Now he's saying, be better. This is like the media pushed this whole narrative, and now he's saying, "Oh no, it don't throw stuff." But these fans they've been holding this in for a year and a half now, and so now this is built up aggression, and we had like Ari, this Dodgers fan that we all met when she came to town.
Yeah.
She was just sitting there and just mind her own business, and she was asked to leave at Dodger Stadium, and she said, I wasn't even heckling, I was just sitting there, and people were just asked me to leave just because in the section I was in. It's just I don't know what to think about the whole situation. I'm sure it wasn't the whole stadium, but for some reason that one section in the outfield, I know we have some listeners that were in the section where the trash cans were being thrown out, and they said they had to increase the security, but it's just not safe for the Astros out there and the fans out there. And I know we have Cowboy Kush out there, like running around like he owns the place. And so
Darth Vader's even saying it's very serious. When Darth Vader is saying it's serious, I mean, come on, guys, we need to wake up. This is intense. When Darth Vader is telling us that it's serious, Eric, I mean, this is a guy that snowed us for 2 episodes. We didn't realize he was Luke's father, and now he's trying to give us advice. You got to love our audience.
But yeah, so overall, I think the Astros handled their composure pretty well. I know, the Dodgers fans booed Jose Altuve. So what did he do? He got so mad that he broke a camera. The odds of that happening, the fact that he fouled that pitch and it just broke the camera, that was classic. And this was just such a great game all the way around. And it was just, it wasn't even nerve-wracking. The fact that I forgot how Martin Maldonado got a double, right? Or is that how he got on base?
No. So Martin Maldonado got a double, and then Michael Brantley hit him in.
Yeah.
But he was at third, I believe. And so, he got third on wild pitch. And so this is what's interesting. Someone brings this up. They waited 2 years to boo the Astros, and they got shut out by the same pitcher who won Game 7 of the World Series in 2017. And, someone was asking us how Yuli is or how Brantley is. I haven't heard. I don't know if you have those things in our notes loaded up. Okay.
I think I know that that Brantley ran into the right field
he did.
netting, and it looked kind of awkward. I don't think that he left the game because of that. I think that was purely a defensive restructuring because
when he was running to first, when he grounded out, he was running gingerly on that knee, and we know that he's had injuries on this leg or with his legs this year. So I'm okay with him being pulled in that game. But, I mean, 5 years and 2 days after the day.
Yeah. After that, at that point, it was a 3-run lead. You go with the defensive guys in the outfield, and that's National League Baseball. So you get your defensive liabilities out, which is, unfortunately, Yordan Alvarez, even though he didn't look bad out there. And you saw Jake Myers get his major league debut, not debut, but his first appearance in the outfield, I believe, in center field. And then you saw Chaz McCormick go out there. So, yeah, I don't think that Brantley, I think this is an injury that he's been dealing with. And I think that Blum was saying that I hope that the Dodgers TV audience or TV announcers aren't dogging him for not running to the base. It wasn't that he was dogging it. He's just been dealing with injury. And remember he hurt his ankle the other day, and he was taken out of the game. So I'm not too worried about that. Now, the Yuli Gurriel information, that was a little bit alarming, especially anytime Robel Garcia, because we know we are all part of the Robel Garcia fan club.
Eric loves Robel. Yes, he has a Garcia jersey, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but anyway, he was Yuli Gurriel was scratched before the game because he was having neck discomfort. I know we all have that occasionally, but this is something that it had to be pretty major for you to scratch him right before such a big game like playing against the Dodgers. So, and I love one of the Dodgers people, I don't know who it was, asked Chandler Rome, well, you think they're going to call somebody up? Well, it just literally happened. They can't fly somebody from Sugarland all the way over here to
no, they're not going to call anybody up. No, we've got enough people up there already. But the thing is with this game, Eric, one of the things that I don't want to get lost in the mix, because you've got the Yordan Alvarez home run, you got the Lance McCullers dominance, but you have Graveman, who we knew was going to do it his thing, and then Stanek come in, and Stanek just absolutely shuts it down. His last pitch, I believe one of our guys mentioned here, said 100 miles an hour his pitch touched. And so that was phenomenal. And if our bullpen can do the things that they're supposed to do, I'm sorry, Blake Taylor. I totally skipped over Blake Taylor. Blake Taylor came in with
to get that strikeout after, especially
that was huge after that walk.
Max Muncy has hit well versus left-handers for him.
Yeah,
to do
over 300. Yeah. So here's a scary thing. If our bullpen can do that against the Dodgers, if our bullpen can do that against good teams, I mean, this team's got a lot of good things to look forward to.
Yes, like joining us on Spotify Green Room is a good thing to look forward to. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Spotify Green Room is changing the way that we're talking about sports and the way we talk sports. So what you can do is you can go get the app Spotify Green Room, download it on your phone, look up myself, H-Town Wheelhouse, or look up Eric at Eric Heisman, and then watch for when we go live. Tomorrow night, we'll do a Spotify Green Room during the game. And that way you can see and you can hear and you can get in the action. We can have kind of a watch party where you get to talk sports with us, get to talk Astros. There's also NFL rooms, NHL rooms. There's rooms for every sport. And so what I want you to do is go check out Spotify Green Room. It's a perfect place to join the conversation. They are changing the way that we talk about all the sports action. It's free to download.
Yeah, Clyde says that Maldonado had 2 doubles. So he thought he was going to get injured on the second one. Yeah, that second one was a classic pose. He had the sliding into the DM pose at the end.
See, that's great and funny and all, but we just need to. Martin doesn't always have to try to leg out a double. I think sometimes Maldonado needs to be okay with getting a single because that could have been really bad. I'm glad it didn't. I like his hustle, though. I mean, I can't say that I hate that he does it, but we've got to be very, very cautionary going towards the end of the season. We need Maldy back there. Maldy kept McCullers in the game, and you would have really liked to see McCullers get that last out had he not walked his final batter. But Blake Taylor, again, came in and did the job. And if your bullpen can work the way it's supposed to work, the sky's the limit for this ball club, Eric.
Right. Yeah, like Jay mentions, there were 2 errors in this game, one by Correa, which was an odd one where he kind of tossed the ball.
He kind of muffed the ball initially on getting the ball on his glove, and he tried to throw it. That from the get-go, that was destined to fail. That one, and then
The Rebel
What
Garcia, where he was trying to be superhero and it was already a hard play. Then he tried to throw the ball all the way to first base, and he overthrew the ball, and that's how the ball got. Then the runner got to second base like that. But he's no Alex Bregman. He's no Aledmys Diaz. He's no Abraham Toro. He is who he is, and so that's why I am part of the what's his name? Rebel Garcia fan club.
You don't even know what fan club you're a part of. No, you're not a part of the Robel Garcia fan. Nobody is. Robel Garcia is a part of the Robel
Hey,
Garcia.
he got a strikeout today. He's got something on there, and he's got 4 runners left on base. That stands for something.
Oh, I thought you meant today. I was like, what?
But that big home run by Alvarez was awesome. Just at that moment, it was a 1-0 game. I know the Astros went out and made all those big moves to add the bullpen depth, but still a 1-0 game versus the Dodgers is still scary, and especially with no Ryan Presley. So when Alvarez hit that home run, the first person out of that dugout was Jose Altuve, and he was like, yeah. And
So
go ahead.
So I was just going to say I realized tonight, guys, I found my 2 favorite swings in Major League Baseball. My favorite swing is Yordan Alvarez home runs. Okay, those lasers to right field. My second favorite swing, and I think I already knew this, but I had an epiphany, is Cody Bellinger's swing and miss. I love when that guy swings and misses. He swings so hard, and he looks so frustrated after that, and then he gets locked up. It didn't even swing at the last pitch, but that's my favorite. But those are my 2 favorite swings: Yordan swinging, hitting home runs, and Cody Bellinger swing and miss. I love it.
Yeah, I was making a joke. We were doing a Twitter whatever you call that thing with Apollo earlier, and I was like, we just gave up a hit to a 163 hitter. That's embarrassing. But Bellinger just is having a terrible season. But whatever.
Bellinger is having a terrible season, but Bellinger has a terrible game whenever he faces Lance McCullers, period, in the story. Look, the Dodgers have talent. The Dodgers have a very good team. Yeah. Their Achilles heel is their own division. I mean, they're in the toughest division in baseball. But think about this, Eric. These people have waited 2 years to come to the stadium and vehemently boo. And what did you say? You did your little YouTube video where you're like, Jose Altuve is basically powered by these boos. And it's just one of those things, well, we can't really see him because the light's too bright. But the point is, the Astros go out and play. The Astros go out and win. And that's what this club does. We need not to be so worried come October.
I'm worried about Kendall Graveman. I'm afraid he's human. He gave up a hit today.
Well, he needs to give up a hit because that's called the law of averages. And every once in a while, you have to at least give up something. You can't strike everybody out there.
I know. He did strike out 2 hitters today, but Stanek looked really good. He got the first out with that first pitch, and that was awesome. But Blake Taylor getting that out was just amazing. Yordan Alvarez in that one at bat, even though he didn't get a hit or got out, he really against Walker Buehler, he really extended that at bat. And I know Buehler
saw 10 pitches.
Yeah, he ended up finishing up that inning, but anytime you extend it bat like that. So Lord Lazenby, I love that name, by the way, said, when is Bregman going to be back? We're hoping by the time the Astros return home this weekend. So
yeah, he had a double today in Sugar Land. If you're listening, well, I guess it is today because it's 1:03 a.m. It's it's the late show. Mr. Corona says, I don't know, this is kind of shooting high. He says, Jake Myers' grand slam against Scherzer is something I hope to see. Well, I'm sure Jake Myers would want to see that too. All I want is a win. I don't care how we win it. I don't care if we win it 1-0.
And he hit the ball this time. He made it.
He did. Contact. He did. He made contact, but just a great game all around. Like was mentioned, we worked around the errors. We didn't let that bite us in the butt because that flub double play could have really hurt us, and it didn't.
Yeah, we're actually talking about this. How did MLB not televise this? Make this be the nationally Like this should have been a primetime game, not being played at 9 o'clock at night. This should have been like a 7 o'clock, like
It should have been a
Central.
5 o'clock LA start, 7 o'clock
Yeah,
Central,
this
8
should have
o'clock.
been
Yeah.
a primetime game because this was, I mean, that could have changed the outcome. I mean, I'm glad that everything happened the way it did, but I just think that they messed this up. I think that they messed up the whole security system because this was apparently a record crowd for the season of
Yeah.
52,000
Yeah, I
something.
mentioned that. Yeah. I was mentioning that earlier, saying like you had the most people in the stands, and then you had people acting the way they were acting, just ridiculous.
I mean, I heard this from several people, but Brian McTaggart tweeted this out earlier. The PA announcer just reminded fans that throwing things on the field is grounds for ejection. In addition to at least 3 inflatable trash cans, foul balls are coming back onto the field. A fan with great seats is getting ejected for throwing back Correa's foul ball. Okay, if you have great seats and you get Carlos Correa's foul ball, you keep that ball and you keep your seats.
Well,
You can't hate the Astros that bad that want to throw the ball
I
back.
tell you right now, hey, I'm not afraid to say it. If I'm in the outfield and I catch a home run and it's from an opposing hitter, I'm not throwing it back, Eric. This is not Wrigley Field. That's a Wrigley Field tradition. That's not a Houston tradition. If I catch a game ball, dang it, I'm keeping it. I don't care who hits it. I don't care.
Yeah. Justin Thomas says, yeah, MLB had the free game today. Yes, I know, but still,
But it was blacked out.
It's
It was
blacked out in
in
Houston. I know you could watch it elsewhere, but you could have put it on
Oh, yeah.
ESPN or somewhere.
DM me on Twitter. I've got the perfect place to go.
Whatever. So, but I think overall this was a great game. I think that the Astros really just took care of business, and but Blake Taylor just he threw Max Muncy 8 straight fastballs before getting him to swing on that slider. It was just awesome to watch, and I was so nervous during that bat, and it was just that was the moment of the game, and you could see the emotion. Somebody mentioned it in the chat earlier. The emotion from Lance McCullers after that, he was just like,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
you gotta love that emotion.
Well, Blake Taylor, Eric, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Blake Taylor probably had a Built Bar before he went on the mound, because the way he was able to finish that inning off, and then he probably threw into Lance McCullers because, like, dude, you need a Built Bar. Why? Because they're wrapped in 100% chocolate. Also, they're healthy for you. They've got 17 to 18 grams of protein. They've got very low carb and sugar grams. And so you need to go to built.com and use a promo code LOCKED15. Try the new grasshopper cookie or raspberry, whatever floats your boat, whatever flavor you like. Like me, I like the white chocolate birthday cake Built Bar. It's wrapped in 100% chocolate as well. So use the promo code LOCKED15 when you go to built.com and tell them that Locked On Astros sent you. Built Bar, the best bar in the biz.
Thoughts by Dusty.
Boy, that was exciting.
That was his quote?
Yeah. And he said that was a game that he would love to have played in. Also, he said that he hopes to have Yuli back in the lineup tomorrow, hopefully. And that he also, I was over there helping him spiritually, talking about Blake Taylor pitching to Max Muncy. So, but
Wait, hold on. Dusty said he was helping him spiritually?
Yeah.
I really can't say anything bad about Dusty. I really like that guy now. He's
Okay,
like,
so here is a thoughts by Ryan Stanek. So this is about what happened with the Dodgers fans. So people started throwing stuff at Astros fans, and for a few minutes, you just basically sat there and watched people throw full beers at people for a half inning. It was kind of bonkers atmosphere to play in, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so think about it. I was sitting there when they trained the camera on Jake Myers in the dugout. I was like, what a game to be at as a rookie, as a brand new call-up. I mean, just taking it in, probably going, I don't mind not being on the field right now. Like, I'm okay with being in the dugout.
Yeah. Here's Lance McCullers. I enjoyed the reception on the way out to the bullpen. I felt comfortable. I felt calm. We had a lot of people here. It was obviously a lot of booing, but I liked it. I enjoyed it.
There you go.
And here's Blake Taylor. Ooh, I really like Blake Taylor now. It takes something special to wear an Astros across your chest.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Man.
And Ryan Stanek clarified that no Astros coaches or players were ever in danger of being hit with anything. They were basically just spectators in a bunch of fights and wasted beer.
Well, I don't think a W could have hit the Dodgers if you hurled it at them in a trash can tonight, because the Astros absolutely, I'm telling you guys, we own this team in LA, period, in the story. I mean, they lost 2 games in 2017 in their home ballpark. They lost this one. They looked very unmatched. They looked very feeble, and it's just great. It's great to see, because we came to play baseball. They came to boo. Now, the players didn't come to boo, okay? We're literally maybe apples and oranges here. But I would be so pissed if I was one of those Dodgers fans and I came and I just wanted to see the Astros just vanquish the enemy, the bad guy, the villains who stole 2017 from us. And then we come up empty. Gosh, because those tickets, were going for a high price.
Right. And this whole, this felt like definitely, I know the whole Giants series felt like a playoff series. This felt like a playoff game.
It did.
The whole game.
It felt like one of the World Series games. It felt like 2017. It really did. It had that feel. And
that's why I had to get off that little Apollo thing, because I'm like, this is too stressful. I got to get off and watch this actual game. Altuve came to town. He didn't let the booze bother him. He went 2 for 4 with a walk. He did strike out 1 time, but overall he did pretty good. Correa scored obviously on that Alvarez home run. Tucker got a hit. He beat the shift on that double. I believe it was down the line. Yeah. So Maldonado, I know he only scored that 1 time. He didn't get RBI or anything, but I think he was the offensive player of the game just because he scored the first run. That's all the Astros really needed in that game. But that home run was majestic, 115 miles per hour off the bat and off the left-handed pitcher what's his ERA on the season? It's not that good. I thought it was a little bit better, but 3.82, Victor Gonzalez. But the Dodgers bullpen is really good. For the Astros to do anything versus the bullpen is great. Buehler is one of the best pitchers in the game.
Buehler's having a Cy Young season. I mean, it was a starting pitcher's duel. Him and both Lance McCullers did what they were set out to do. It was up to their team to then back them up with the bats. And we've seen our team do plenty of times what their relief pitchers did with giving up the home run. When that guy came in, I was like, there's no way Yordan walks out of here without at least 1 RBI. There's no way that this guy pitches to him in a way that gets him out. He is going to do something, and he did. And Yordan can see the ball really well. When you talk to other people, when you talk to people experts, like Yordan Alvarez hits the ball in ways he shouldn't be able to hit the ball. He's that good of a hitter. He's not just a big poppy home run guy. He can hit the ball. He sees the ball well. He knows the zone. Going back to that 10 pitch at bat, that was a key moment in this game. That 10 pitch at bat was a key moment. Blake Taylor's moment was key, and then obviously the Yordan Alvarez. And so without those 3 moments, you don't get the Stanek in the ninth. Without those 3 moments, things change completely, and you probably got Brooks Raley coming in.
Stanek is a new Astros closer. We got 5 closers now. How many closers do you have, Dodgers? Well, they have Blake Trinan, so
he still didn't. I mean, he didn't stand long enough to affect the game in a positive way, did he?
So the Astros win game 1. Game 2.
So we're 2-1 on them on the seed could be because
About that.
we split.
Yeah.
We split in Houston, right?
About game 2.
Oh,
yeah. Jake Odorizzi
we got this, man.
versus Max Scherzer.
Versus Dodger Stadium.
All right. Good thoughts. Good thoughts. Put some good thoughts in the chat. Good thoughts in the chat. Come on. Good thoughts.
Are they putting
Scherzer
bad thoughts? Oh,
no.
thoughts.
I want y'all to put some good thoughts about Max Scherzer versus Jake Odorizzi tomorrow. Okay. Yes, I do agree that pressure is on LA, especially after what happened tonight. I think what happened is an embarrassment to the city, the fans, for them to act like, okay, throwing the freaking trash can on the field, fine. That's been done. That's been recycled. Whatever.
That's been
Throwing
recycled.
baseballs on the field, that's fine. That's been done in New York. Been recycled. Whatever. But throwing beers at, like, not just one, but throwing like 20 beers at one Astros fan, that's
pretty lame.
That's pretty low.
Okay. And they spent like $28,000 on a single beer. Like, I would not spend that much for a beer and then throw it on somebody.
Presley should be back. I want to say maybe by the time we get back home. I don't think he's going to be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I haven't sseen anything about.
Yeah, I doubt it. I think if he was going to arrive tomorrow, they would have already said something.
Yes.
And so, like, I just flashed this up really quickly. Max Scherzer will make a few mistakes tomorrow, and we will take advantage of them. Remember, when we had Ben Verlander on, Ben Verlander said himself he thinks that Scherzer will make a few mistakes and that the Astros lineup is good enough to manipulate that. And the pressure is on Scherzer now, especially with this game 1 loss. There's a ton of pressure because Buehler went out and had a hell of a game. He gave up 1 run, right. Eric. I mean, right. He didn't give up 5 runs and 10 hits and walk. He looked sharp, man. He's freaking talented, and we beat one of their best pitchers already. So go figure.
Yeah, Ghost Rose sent me a message during yesterday's show. I didn't get a chance to bring it up, but he was mentioning that he was talking to somebody. I think he was talking to Tucker, who was talking to another pitcher who was doing a pregame discussion about the Astros. And he said the problem with the Astros lineup is that there's no let up in the Astros lineup. And that's including Martin Maldonado, because even though he's struggling this year, he's still a pretty good hitter, as we saw what he can do today. So even when you have Chas McCormick in there, he's got some pop in the bat. And so now that Miles Straw is hitting home runs and doubles, and with the Indians, Chas McCormick is a center fielder now, or when Kyle Tucker is playing center field. So we didn't get a chance to talk about this yesterday, but happy trails to Nivaldo Rodriguez. He's going to the Tigers, and he's going to play with AJ Hinch. He was DFA'd by the Astros, and he was claimed by the Tigers. So happy trails. What's up?
Happy trails. I've got 4 more tickets that someone gave me for Texans practice.
Okay.
For Friday.
Does anybody want to play a little game to go to Astros? Astros. Texans. It's 1:00, dude.
Okay, I've got 4 Texans practice tickets for Friday morning. You have to live in Houston, and you have to be able to go. You can't be like, I live in Lubbock, Texas.
Or Corpus.
You have to be able to go Friday. So if you would answer me this one question, what state is Jake Myers from? That's easy. You can
Google it really quick.
I don't care if you
really
Google it. Go. What state is Jake Myers from? And dude, you couldn't give. Yes, I can. I'm doing it right now. I did it the other day.
All right. Danny says,
boom, right there. Josue Martinez got it right. Nebraska.
Joshua. Is it Joshua or Josue?
No, Josue. Okay. Josue Martinez. So Josue, you're gonna have to DM me on Twitter if you're on Twitter.
And can you go?
Josue, can you go?
Okay. Also, I forgot while you're doing that. I forgot to tell you the breaking news from Monday. The Astros claimed Jacob Wilson off waivers from the Oakland A's. We're talking about a 1-for-7 Jacob Wilson, who made his major league debut at the age of 30, who is now 31 years old. He played in the KBO with one Brooks Raley, a little known fact, and he plays third base. And a lot of Astros fans freaked out about this. So welcome to the Astros organization, Jacob Wilson. He is purely a depth option. And I think Tyler Ivey was added to the 60-man major league roster and 60-day IL. So congrats for Tyler Ivey being added to the 60-day IL because he'll be paid like a major leaguer now. So, but I think Tyler Ivey's going to have he's got the thoracic outlet syndrome, and I think he was trying to rehab, but I think that he's gonna try to go the surgical route now. So unfortunately, like that's gonna happen. But Wilson is 31. He made his debut for the A's this year. He played in 6 games. He's played second base, third base, and left field. And so he's been optioned to the Sugarland Skeeters. So that's your not worthless, but news you needed to know that you didn't think you needed to know.
I'm trying to figure out the mystery of who's going to use these tickets, because if Josue doesn't respond to me in the next 30 seconds, I'm giving them to Alan Zaldivar. Alan Zaldivar will get them. He said he can go. So let me see.
And the Beast has been saying she wants to go too. So
okay, well, I see that. So it looks like Josue, you got 15 seconds. I've got a timer going. Oh wait, actually, I can't go Friday. Okay, all right. So they are going to Mr. What I say, Alan? Is that his name?
I don't know. I don't.
Let me go back up. Yes. So Alan, you need to send me a DM on Twitter.
All right. So before the game, Dusty Baker said that Dodger Stadium remains a special place for him. This is very familiar territory for me. I was getting very excited last night. You always do for a big series. I don't think we're going to have any problems with anybody getting psyched for the series. I don't think so, Dusty. It looked like the Astros were pretty excited about this.
Yeah.
Some more news and notes. Jose Urquidy is supposed to progress to throwing off a mound tomorrow or Thursday. So he's been out with a shoulder injury since June 29th. That's really, really good. So that means that we could be seeing him start getting into some throwing off the mound and starting to get into some minor league games. But it's going to be a long time before we see him back starting. But this is somebody that the Astros could be using as a starter in the playoffs, depending on when he comes back. So, all right. Did you figure out your situation?
I got it, man. I'm just waiting for a DM on Twitter. Yeah.
Okay.
We got it squared away. So thank you guys for listening. We're having a blast. I know it's late. It's 1:22 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we survived. Hopefully the Astros fans survived that were there, and we've got another game and another fun one to watch. So if you want to stay up late again tomorrow night, check out Locked On Astros. Who are we wrapping the show up with? What are we telling them about to end the show?
Well, as always, we're talking about the Locked On Bets podcast. Betting on the Astros does not have to be a guessing game. If you listen to the Locked On Bets podcast hosted by your boy Q and handicapping expert Lee Sterling, get daily picks, blowout special, wrong team favorite picks, and Lee Sterling's lock of the day. Follow the Locked On Bets podcast brought to you by betonline.ag, wherever you get your podcast. And one little note that Major League Baseball has announced today that Jose Altuve was awarded the 2021 Heart and Hustle Award as the Astros representative. So congratulations, Jose Altuve. I'm sure Dodgers fans are giving him a round of applause.
As they should.
They're saying Jeter.
Yeah, they're saying Jeter instead of cheater.
Yes. So anyway, guys, I know a lot of people are wanting us to comment about Justin Verlander. I don't have any information about Justin Verlander if he's coming back, but I do have information about y'all subscribing to our YouTube channel. Just go to Locked On Astros, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the show, and Go Stros. If it wasn't 1:30 at night, I would do after show, but it is 1:30 at night. And we have another show tomorrow. So please check us out. And don't forget to listen to our audio version on Apple, Odyssey, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go Astros, and let's get game 2 tomorrow.
Later, Warioto.